Hello, this is Michael Pucciarelli. This is the Photoshop part of the photographs I took while presenting for Eastern Tennessee Professional Photographers America. It was a real joy to give that presentation. Hope to teach for them again. So this would be the Photoshop section. First photograph we're going to talk about is this. We're going to talk about how I use Photoshop, where first thing I do is I run my save action. So I'm going to run that save action. I found my play. Oh, I'm going to move it over. Here we go. I'm going to run my play action. And my computer tells me where I save it. It also saves the cloud too. And then this is the second action where I'll show the steps in a minute. I'm going to show the layers. Where I burn luminosity blend mode, I dodge at a screen blend mode, and when I paint, I find the photograph. I just paint in, the subject. And then when I dodge, when I paint, when I burn, I'm at 100%. Then when I dodge, I feel like that 100% is too much. Do it at 25%. And this is the first part of the action. And the second part of the action is make this smaller. Is, click on auto, and I just modify, I adjust it over here. Use the mid-tone sliders. And I'm going to run this action. I'm going to show the action of the steps. It calls the dodge and burn. This is called somewhere else. This is programmed somewhere else. And then it calls, make the adjustment layer. And it calls this action and this action. So this action is up here. This action is up here. And the way I use actions, I use them in groups. The screen smaller. So there are many ways to use adjustment layers. Where I just want to bring this out more, less. And then I did Control-Shift-I, and that's how I get this selection. right now affecting the backgrounds. I'll talk about some of the tools I use. Sometimes I use a mixer brush, do a lot of some portrait. Control Command D. So we just mix it in. I would just erase it. And sometimes I can use, frequency separation. Find the action. There it is. I'm going to run this. It'll be a prompt. Where do you like my cloning? Here. The way some people use this, they have a high frequency for every tool here. The clone, the healing brush, spot healing brush. And I like to use my selections for in the low frequency or normal. And it's high frequencies where the blend mode is linear light. This is just a normal layer with normal light, with normal blend mode. So I'm going to save as a JPEG. Quality is always 100. Optimize is checked. To be posting for the web, I want to make sure I have this checked. But if I'm copying and pasting Photoshop, I don't want to have this checked. I'm going to do the frame. I'm going to push up 12 to bring it back. There we go. Where I would just call this. I'd call this, and I'd call this. And this is really a condition. The document's landscape. The big width is 4,000, else the big height is 4,000. So it's one or the other. Follows this action. So the way these actions is I use them in groups, and they call it, like I can have an action and call 3 different actions in one group, so it happens quickly. Where I do, save command. And open up a dialog box. I can save to the cloud. I can save in your computer. And since I'll bring me to where I want it because I already navigated to this place. So then I call this action. I burned at a luminosity. I dodge at a screen. Then I call an adjustment layer. Then when I action is called, you know, black signature or white, I delete the signature I don't need. In this case, I deleted the white. In this shot, I was using two lights where I was trying to put some shadows to make it look interesting. I would call this, I would save it. Second action I call is here. I would burn a luminosity blend mode. I dodge at a screen blend mode. When I paint, I'll be painting this. Make sure this is at 100. Make sure this is at 25. I call my levels action. So just, I can bring this, Control Shift I. And this is before I put the frame on, so it would just really select this, but not including this. I'm going to sharpen the images. I like to use three actions. Got this speckle, doesn't scratches, and sharpen. This is just, and the dozen scratches. The speckle, it's no prompt. Sharpening. Sharp mask. Sometimes I'll be doing sharp mask, make my changes. And then I go, it'd fade, whatever is the last filter you use, it'd be fade and sharp mask. This is where we have the speckle filter, the scratch filter, and then whatever. This action is the unsharp mask, but then fade is where with this, and when I play this, we get an image. You usually have 100, you can use the blend mode of luminosity. And let me just move this up. Sometimes I like that, I can do content aware. I have to look at it. I don't always accept. I found a big surprise. I thought I had it. Putting it, changing a preference. There we go. And what I would do is a good clean brush. I would use the Alt Command key. So if I want to save it, I want to save, for the web or Photoshop, I'd choose this. And if saving for the web, you want to have this checked off. You want to copy and paste the Photoshop, you want to have this not checked. And I would save it. A lot of times I would just, when I want to use many JPEGs, use the image processor. If I'm pasting in Photoshop, I want to make sure I don't have this checked. But if I'm pasting on the web, you want to make sure you have this checked so you don't have the color mismatch error. That concludes my Adobe my demo for the 3 photographs I took in East Tennessee. And I pray that, hope you enjoyed the presentation. I just hope that you learned something, and I have a YouTube channel still at Photography Michael Pucciarelli. And I have a whole section on the white plex table, the black plex table, software, Adobe software equipment, and light painting. So maybe, maybe like and subscribe. Thank you for listening to this webinar.